Hey there, Biscuit. What's up?
Well, I heard about this thing called a vaccine, and I was wondering if you knew anything about them.
Well, I actually know quite a bit about vaccines. What do you want to know about them?
Everything!
Well, firstly, in 1976, Edward Jenner found out that putting a harmless cowpox virus in humans can give you immunity to the fatal disease known as smallpox.
That was a nice flashback, but what are they, man?
Okay, so modern vaccines are usually inactive or weakened bacteria, viruses, or other pathogens that are injected into an organism to give them immunity to that certain disease. It's usually harmless, too.
Boy, Doc, that's gosh darn a little bit cool, but how do we get immunity? Man.
To gain immunity, we go through something called a primary immune response.
What's that?
It's kind of complicated, but here's a simple step-by-step guide. Stop me if you have any questions or comments. So, let's use a virus as an example. The virus enters the body and subsequently enters a body cell, which displays a viral antigen on its surface. Next, macrophages engulf the virus and display viral antigens on their surface.
Suspense, but what happens next?
Well, the macrophage with those viral antigens invariably comes across a specific lymphocyte known as a helper T cell. The helper T cell's receptor proteins bind to the viral antigen, and after that, the macrophage releases a protein called interleukin-1.
Holy moly, what's that do?
They activate helper T cells, but those helper T cells don't attack the pathogens directly.
So how do the pathogens get destroyed?
I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Alright, so the helper T cells actually activate cytotoxic T and B cells. Interleukin-1 makes helper T cells secrete interleukin-2, which stimulates further division of helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells, amplifying the body's response to infection.
Man, oh man, things are heating up!
Yeah. And interleukin-2 also activates B cells. They proliferate and differentiate into memory and plasma cells, which divide and make antibodies.
So what do these antibodies do?
Antibodies. They're called antibodies.
Sorry, sir.
Anyway, they help mark the antigen for destruction by macrophages.
Damn, that's really cool, but what do these cytotoxic T cells do, though?
They destroy infected cells by puncturing their cell membrane, and with that, the immune response basically ends.
Bomb diggity! But how does this fancy process give us immunity to a disease, especially if vaccines are harmless?
Well, here's a short rundown. Vaccines trigger an immune response without symptoms of infection. Several days after you're vaccinated, your immune system develops antibodies and memory cells against the pathogen. This gives your immune system long-term memory of that disease.
Why does that memory matter, though?
It matters because it makes the secondary response to that same antigen much more effective and faster than the primary one, so you essentially never succumb to that disease again, or ever if you've been vaccinated for it.
Okay. So if vaccinations are so good, why aren't they mandatory?
Well, there are many reasons for and against mandatory vaccination, but let's go meet with someone who is against mandatory vaccination, shall we?
Okay!
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Hey, Johnny. Sup, da? What you want me for? Well, I want you to explain why you think vaccination shouldn't be mandatory to this young girl over here. Alright. Why, certainly. Okay, here I go.
Well, I think it's your right to be unhealthy or not. Vaccines can also have some side effects, and no matter how minuscule or uncommon these are, they should be enough to make vaccination a choice for everyone. For the busy people of today, like moi, it's too much of a hassle to go to a doctor and get vaccinated. Additionally, forcing others to use money on something that they deem as unnecessary is unreasonable. Doesn't making it illegal not to be vaccinated seem pretty harsh, just going to jail for not getting vaccinated? Also, it'd be too hard to make enough facilities for vaccination, looking at the world's skyrocketing population. And lastly, vaccines, I heard they cause autism.
Wait, why did your voice change?
Because I get nervous when I talk to pretty girls like you.
Alright, let's stop this. So, Biscuit, what do you have to say about what this guy just said?
Well, all I gotta say is, those ain't real reasons. So many of those things can be fixed. I bet there are many good reasons that should blow these trivial reasons out the water, right, man? Am I right?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, thanks for your opinion, Johnny. No problem, Doc. Anything you want, just give me a call, man. Just give me a call. I'll be there.
And bye, Biscuit.
Well, that guy sure was weird, but can you tell me some of the positives of vaccination, Doc?
Yeah, sure. Here, one sec. A disease's prevalence can decline significantly in less than a generation. The public is much healthier and has much less risk of infection and spread of that disease. It's better to prevent than cure. You save money by getting a vaccination than curing after getting it. It's not really a hassle compared to the benefits of herd immunity, source drying, etc. Subjecting society to a high risk of infection and a pandemic when it could be avoided is pretty bad too. Diseases like polio and smallpox were virtually eradicated because of vaccines.
Yeah, I know some of those words, but what are herd immunity and source drying?
Well, herd immunity is basically giving non-vaccinated people safety in a population that's been heavily vaccinated, but it's better not to risk them being susceptible to that disease at all. It's one of the biggest reasons people use vaccines.
And source drying?
So, in source drying, when there's a population that's the source of an infectious disease, immunizing the high-risk people and not the low-risk people will have a huge impact on the elimination of that disease. They did it in Queensland, Australia for hepatitis A, and it was a huge success. It justifies mandatory vaccination for a subpopulation, if not the whole.
Okay, smart guy, but what's your opinion on mandatory vaccination?
Well, I think that mandatory vaccination is fine and ethical, considering society's needs. Leaving people at risk for an outbreak of a disease for false beliefs such as autism causation is not morally acceptable. Although there may be side effects, usually mild ones and in very rare cases serious ones, scientists are trying their best to make them side effect free for everyone. I don't really think there's a real reason to not make vaccination mandatory. I mean, come on guys.
Wizard, wham, my ass, wham, wham, that's fishing me so much! Also, Doc, why did it get so dark before?
Well, that's because the cameraman is inept and doesn't know what lighting is.
Oh, okay, thanks. Hey, Doc, I'm back!
Oh yeah, you feel better from that fainting yesterday?
Yeah, I was just overpowered by the knowledge you gave me.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Yeah, buddy. Anyway, I want to repay you for the knowledge you gave me yesterday with a little rap I made about vaccines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Alright. Give me the beats. Oh yeah. Vaccines! They give me that thing called immunity. It helps save lives for you and me. Oh yeah. Made popular by Edward Jenner. Makes society feel better. Even helps you save money. So you should get some for your honey vaccines. Or give us so strong. What you say? I'm not try hard enough. Disease will eventually go away. So please don't make this process so for all of you will pay. Making them mandatory is absolutely flawless. That's right. It's perfectly harmless. Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
Thanks, Doc, thanks. You like the rap, boom, boom, boom. Yeah.